So 3, 2, 1, and then clap.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Hunters Hub. This is your host, Fortuan, joined by co-host Pan. How we doing?
I'm doing great tonight. How about you?
Surprisingly good. We had a fancy curveball thrown at us, so we'll talk about that a little bit. And our guest, Vulgar Latin. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad I can be here.
Yeah, thank you for filling in on extremely short notice.
Yeah.
That's a different guy. Steve.
What?
Steve in the chat said that's a different guy.
Yeah, no shit, Steve.
So we'll get a little bit into this. As to why we don't have Morg. We have Vulgar Latin here, and we hadn't planned on having a guest. Is Morg is no longer with us. He has what?
He's still with us.
He's not dead, is he?
He's no longer with the podcast.
He left he went on to do different projects, is how you put that, I believe.
Well, okay.
No longer with us implied that he got hit by a train.
Let me explain, because it did feel like getting hit by a train. Because his statement was, "I am quitting video games altogether," and we are because of that I can't participate in the show, which makes sense. I'm just a little surprised by the quitting video games altogether. But hey, he says he's got to do it for his own personal direction in life, and more power to him. But so we have to adjust, because he's not gonna be here.
Yeah. So for the time being, we're gonna try to fill the void with various guests until we find someone who fits the show, who can also commit to every Saturday night for the rest of forever.
Yes. I'm not sure about forever, but wouldn't that be amazing if we have like an 80-year podcast? And
We're just old and decrepit.
Forever?
Forever?
Ever and ever.
we pass it down.
Blood in, blood out.
We just...
Long ago, in a distant land, a podcast was formed. An ancient podcast was formed. 4 strangers met in a bar. It consists of crystals. An earth crystal, a fire crystal, water, and a heart crystal.
And everything
But then the fire crystal attacked.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then everything was peaceful until the fire crystal attacked. Ooh, Pan, did you see it? I tagged you. The voice actor for Prince Zuko is...
Yes, and that's very off-putting to Steve.
Oh?
Is Rufio?
Yes, he is Rufio. You've been saying that for years.
What?
He's Rufio.
Is he?
Yes.
Holy cow! I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rufio is playing the 8th Cadet in the upcoming Netflix Monster Hunters Legends of the Guild series. So excited!
I'm pretty hyped for that. I'm sorry, Devin, we're going to shut you out for just a sec here while we talk about this. I'm pretty hyped for it. I like all the memes that's on r/Monster Hunter about it. All of the, like, yes Drake, no Drake memes regarding that and Monster Hunter, the movie.
I have not seen these.
Yeah, based on the trailer, I think it's going to be everything that we all wanted the Monster Hunter movie to be.
That's fair. They do stab the shit out of a Velocidrome. Holy cow. It's like, hey, Velocidrome, fuck you. just sword through the neck.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
Okay.
I love that the girl in the background is wearing the butterfly armor.
Yes. Yeah, I did notice that. That's a very popular female armor that isn't the fishnets or Kirin.
It's a good armor set and it's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but tonight's topic is going to be how do we phrase it? Introductions, or our favorite video game introductions, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically each of us picked our top 5 video game series and our experience with our first entry into those series. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We had to pick a non-Monster Hunter topic so that Vulgar Latin could participate.
I've played Monster Hunter World.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's it. That's all I got. I made my cat Chairman meow, and he looked like Megaman.
Solid pun. Also good armor set.
Yeah. How far did you get in it? Just curious.
We beat the boss. What was that guy? Like, it was a big, and then it was like, okay, well, now you can play the game.
Was it a blue dragon or was it a black dragon?
It was a big blue dragon.
Yeah.
Xeno'jiiva then, probably.
So, yeah, you got Xeno'jiiva down. That's awesome. That's pretty far.
Yeah.
Most people don't do that.
I used my bow, and named my guy Oliver after the Green Arrow, and yeah.
Hey, that's a good one. Speaking of which,
that's all I got.
Pan, I'm surprised you haven't picked this up yet. Stories. Have you not? Do you not plan on picking it up?
I'm still playing Hades.
I saw.
That's a lot. A lot.
I saw. That's why I asked.
Yeah. Skyward Sword is also yelling at me. So is Pokemon Snap.
True. I did pick up Skyward Sword. I don't know when I'm playing Skyward Sword. I just don't know. I don't know when it's happening.
I'll buy my next video game when I'm bored of Hades.
Okay. It'll take a few months, probably. Well, I have been playing Stories. I am not finished with it yet. I've only had it I've only got to start. Today's a week that I've been playing it. I did have it pre-ordered, but unfortunately I could not pick it up on launch day. It was not possible. I just had so much work.
Oh, I was wondering if the distributor fucked over your video game guy again.
No. That's happened once. That's happened exactly once. Unfortunately, it was for like the biggest special edition game of the year for me, but hey, it happens. So, video game introductions. Sorry, I wanted to talk a little about Stories. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It's fun riding a Diablos around. And oh, by the way, for people who've been listening and wondering, I am no longer doing an all herbivore run. Screw that. They're all power monsters. In the rock, paper, scissors of power, speed, and technical, you can't just have an entire team of power monsters. It's like you're always throwing rock every time, and people are always going to throw paper at you.
I don't know what you mean. Just keep throwing power at the problem. That's all you do.
Yeah, I mean, it works for a second. It works for a second. So, sorry. I had to look at the name again. I'm totally sorry. Vulgar Latin. How do you want us to refer to you as? Vulgar Latin? Vulgar Latin?
A lot of people just call me Vulgar. That's fine by me. So
okay.
I might slip up and use your true name.
Oh yeah. Well, don't use that. Then the wizards have power over me.
Right.
Shit.
All right, so Vulgar. So why don't you start us off on your a memorable intro to a video game?
Sure. So let me take you back to the glorious early 90s. And let's assume you are 4 or 5 years old and you go to a quick shop in rural Nebraska. And in that quick shop, you find an arcade cabinet and you put in quarters and you play Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
Mortal Kombat left a big impression on me. Ever since then, I have played pretty much all of them. The dizzying highs, the terrifying lows, and the creamy middles. All of the Mortal Kombat. And it all starts with Mortal Kombat 1. That first arcade cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Raiden because I don't know why I picked Raiden, because he had a cool hat, probably.
Yeah, it's the rice hat. It's every time.
The rice hat plays, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do any of the moves, and I beat 2 characters, which was a big feat for me at the time. And and I got basically from there. Yeah, I went from the Super Nintendo. I could beat up all my friends. I switched to Johnny Cage because he could punch people in the dick,
Yes.
and that is effective and hilarious.
It was.
From there, Mortal Kombat 2, all the dominoes. But yeah, Mortal Kombat left a big impression. That first Mortal Kombat, and it's not that great in retrospect, but it's still. I'll bang out some Mortal Kombat. I will play Mortal Kombat. So
no lie, Mortal Kombat 11. You've played that one, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's my favorite story in a video game right now.
It's way better than it has any right to be.
Yes.
After Mortal Kombat 9, they were just like, what if we had story mode in our fighting game, and what if it also didn't suck?
Right.
Yeah.
Revolutionary.
Yeah. Weird. And yeah.
So let me pull my uncle works at Nintendo on you and say that my uncle for a short period of time actually did work at Midway, and I got Mortal Kombat 4 for free. And he's the one that introduced the series to me with MK2. And him and my dad and my brother and I all did turn takings trying to beat the ladders on Mortal Kombat 2. So a memorable game for me. It wasn't on my list, but that's a good one. That's a good one to lead off with.
Mortal Kombat 2 is so hard. I've never beaten the story mode, and
Neither did we.
no, it like Kintaro is a cheating bitch. And
Yes. Yeah.
You just can't do it.
Just imagine. So you know who Goro is, right, Pan? The forearm dude. Okay, now make him a tiger, and that's Kintaro.
That sounds badass.
It is until he creams you into like a soft paste on the ground.
He's like, if you jump, he'll catch you. If you try to do a special move, he'll laugh at you.
Yes.
He doesn't. He can jump up higher than you can see in the air and crush you.
Oh, he looks like an orc.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's not the coolest though. I like Mintaro better, but
that was MK3. Yeah.
Yes. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, also great.
Yeah, I think Trilogy was one of my favorites for a long time.
Oh, PS1? Yeah, and you could pick the different like versions of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I played that on N64, and that cost me $80 back in the day. That was rough.
We had the PlayStation version, and did you know that those are actually different? So,
Yes.
the N64 has Chameleon, which is the 3 female ninjas, and I got the other Chameleon without a K, I think, and he could turn into the I think was all of the male ninjas at the same time. Yeah.
So I got the girl, you got the guy. There you go. That's the difference.
Yeah, there you go. And the terrible loading took forever to load up a match.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's one thing I always hated about the PlayStation period. Just like any PlayStation, its load times is just terrible. Up until PS5. PS5 fixed it. So there you go. I don't know who else has a PS5, but
Oh, I'm an Xbox guy.
so
He's Xbox ride or die.
I am the best gamer score in Nebraska, I'll have you know.
Oh. No
Yeah.
one else has a PS5. That's true. That is true. Yeah. We've had Vengeful Torture on. He has one. He was giving me us on how to get one. And 2 of the Bickering Bucks crew, including myself, have it. So there's a few people that have it. If you're determined enough.
We're just not determined here.
Just get a Series X. Game Pass, man.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I don't need another high-end console.
That's fair. I could understand that if you're just like, I already, I don't need to.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I probably won't get a PS5 because
you already got whatever you need, essentially.
Yeah, I don't need Spider-Man that bad. Though I
mean,
do need
I
Spider-Man.
don't need Halo. I'll just play it on the computer. It'll just come out on the computer. So.
Yep.
So, Pan.
More about Halo later.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. So Pan.
Okay. So, I've told a few times the story of how I got my very first N64 game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Superman 64. I spent my last $10 on it, and I was very sad.
Very.
And
rough luck. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Devin or Vulgar Latin. I spent all summer like saving up for an N64. And I got enough money to go get one from the pawn shop, and the pawn shop guy said he'd give me a discount on any game. So I looked very hard at all the games he had, and I spent my last $10 on Superman 64. And that was the only N64 game I had for a little while. And saved up some more money, and went back to the pawn shop, and I got this game that in hindsight, I understand why it called to me, because it had a beautiful sword and shield on the front of it.
There you go. Monster Hunter callback. There you go.
Yeah. But it was, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Hadn't played any Zelda games before that. Probably because, my brothers had the Super Nintendo, and Legend of Zelda was a game about a girl, and that was gay, so my brothers wouldn't have bought it. I mean, that's the logic that my brothers operated on, So anyways, I got this game.
Yeah,
it looked
I was
cool.
trying to wrap that statement around my head. Like, wouldn't that be the opposite of gay? Like,
well, look, we're talking about stupid teenage boys in the 90s.
Yeah, I get it. It wasn't. I was there. I was one of them. Okay, I was teenager in the 2000s, not 90s.
I missed being a teenager in the 90s.
Well, anyways, I got Ocarina of Time, and that was the second game I got for my N64, and I took that one home, and I plugged it in. I had no idea what it was, and opened up this cinematic of this wonderful 3D world of this fairy flying around. She's on a mission from a talking tree.
Mm-hmm.
This is my jam. I'm in some kind of fairy tale, and I'm like this fairy tale kid that's got to go on an adventure. And so I kill the spider. I try to save the tree. I don't save the tree, and that made me actually genuinely sad. My 10-year-old little heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that. You go to leave Kakariko Village, or not Kakariko Village. The Forest Village. Kokiri Village. Kokiri Village. Yeah, that's it. Don't know why I got those two words confused.
Not going to get it.
I don't know why I got those two words confused. And then I go out into the open world, and there's just this huge panning shot of like Hyrule Field, and I'm just like, what the? This game is so big.
And then that
there's
owl
so much
fucker
to do.
stops you.
And then that owl grinds the game to a goddamn halt.
Listen.
The biggest freaking party pooper, that stupid owl.
Yeah. Do you not want me to repeat myself again? Yes or no?
I'd like
What?
a third option that says whichever one gets you to shut the hell up.
And he switches it up too. Sometimes it's the A button, sometimes it's the B button that makes him stop talking.
Yeah, they want to.
But they
want to make sure you're reading.
It's a reading comprehension test.
It is, and a lot of people fail, including me.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's yeah. No, I've heard that story myself, but that is a good one. Very good introduction to a game of utter disappointment to fantastical wonderment.
We went from the pits of the N64 to the height.
So you would say it's slightly better than Superman 64?
Yes.
It was an improvement.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a strict improvement.
I wouldn't use the word slightly.
It was
Um,
marginally better
maybe like
than
catastrophically,
than,
astronomically.
than
I like that.
Titus's magnum opus. French developer Titus and their magnum opus, The Stunning Heights of Superman 64. Come on now.
I've never played that game, but I have watched a lot of videos about it, and I have no interest.
You know what? I played it really hard for about 2 weeks back in 1999
Yeah,
because it was the only video game I had.
yeah.
I really wanted that game as a kid. I actually had the catalogs and I was like, Superman, I love this show. What could go wrong?
Yeah, you're gonna fly around and laser shit and everything. That sounds like a great game.
Lots can go wrong, Devin. Lots.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, a similar story. This isn't one of my picks because it's a bad one. But I had the old tell your parents / grandma what you want for Christmas and they get you the wrong thing kind of deal. So I had played NBA Jam before and loved NBA Jam, and then I got instead Tecmo Basketball All Star, which is like as close as you could get to like a realistic version of basketball. And it was like 5 people on the court and it was really confusing to control, and you would get benched for fouls. So like, and here I am, like NBA Jam, you're so used to just pushing people and doing the get the thing out of the way. It was so cool. And then you get to play Tecmo Basketball Star or whatever it is, and it's just like, no, this is not it. This is not the game you're looking for.
Could have been Bill Lambier's Combat Basketball, I guess.
Nice. So the first one on my list, I'm gonna get out of the way. I've done this story several times, which is Monster Hunter. Pan's already bored. She's heard this one a lot. But
Tell me more about this Monster Hunter that you speak of.
yes, so this is the original PS2 version. And my friend had a PlayStation Underground subscription, which means he got to do some demo discs on PS2. And he got Monster Hunter, and he's like, "Yo, Cham, you got to try this." And I was like, "No, I don't. It looks like Cloud with a Buster Sword. This is anime bullshit. I'm out."
I like the thought of you making fun of the Great Sword.
I know, right? Being a great sword maiden now, yeah. I was like, no, this looks terrible. And then he was like, no, trust me, you'll like it. So you know what? I trusted him. I bought it, spent all my Christmas money on it in 2004. So I technically did start in the first year of Monster Hunter at Christmas, within 1 week of the year ending. And I popped it in. I connected online after doing the crazy, weird tutorial of gathering meat from an Aptonoth. And it was really rough. Like, I was like, what am I doing here?
Old Monster Hunter does not want you to like it.
No, it doesn't. So for reference, Vulgar, you controlled the attacks with the right stick of the DualShock Pro.
Like, you swung it?
Yes.
Like, you just, like...
Up was forward attack, left and right was like mid attack, and down was like a power attack, essentially.
But why?
Exactly, but why? Yeah, that didn't survive. That control scheme was gone as soon as it went to PSP. I get into the first quest online, and I'm in the jungle, and I run into the jungle, and there's a giant, like, yellow and orange chicken running at me, screaming, shooting fireballs to the left and right. And I'm like, what is that? And it hits me, and I roll and I zone out. And older Monster Hunter fans know what zoning out is. This wouldn't happen in World, but you could get knocked out of a room and you'd have to go through a loading screen and you'd load into the next room. So
Oh.
I was like, what
Oh God.
was that? And I was in love, like, immediately. And it's because of the monster design. And I played that quest. We killed the one Kutku. I was definitely being carried by my friends because I only had the starter gear. And then we played a couple more hunts, which was like gathering herbs and stuff like that. And then I had to put the game down for a week and a half, so I didn't get to play it again until the next year because we got to Georgia for a family vacation, and I wasn't allowed to bring my PlayStation. So I sat there thinking about that game for a week and a half, and then I played the crap out of that game. That is my most played Monster Hunter game, sitting at 2,500 hours.
You know,
Yeah,
And 1,100 of those hours are spent gathering resources.
probably. Or I would say that or waiting for people to come online and just dicking around in the online lobby.
Oh shit! No, I do not miss that.
No.
That's why I couldn't go back. That's why I couldn't go back to Monster Hunter XX or whatever we called it on Switch.
Double Cross, which would have been Gen Ultimate. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's why I couldn't go back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough sometimes. But that's my number one. So we'll wrap back around Vulgar.
all right. Well, I mean, I kind of teased it anyway,
Yeah.
but let's talk about Halo. Let's
Let's.
bring that in. Let's talk about Halo. So my first time playing Halo was in a LAN, basically.
Oh,
I'd never played Halo before.
the best
multiple-
way to start playing Halo.
Yeah,
Cream of the
so I
crop.
believe
Okay.
4 out of like it's 4-on-4, 2 Xboxes, local area, 2
Ooh.
TVs. Prisoner with Rockets, I believe, was the first actual, and that was
Jeez.
yeah. And I didn't start with so Halo. The first Halo is not the one that got me like really hooked. That was Halo 2. I got that for Christmas with an Xbox. But Halo 1 and 2 left a big mark on my teenage years. Summers,
Oh, yeah.
entire nights spent local playing. We played local. We had a group of people. We would just play all night. Regular Halo. That was good. And even still to this day, like I don't play the multiplayer as much anymore because I'm like old and drunk or whatever. But I still
not as many friends playing, I think, is the better answer.
oh yeah, sure, let's go with that. But I'll
Yeah.
still pop on like the Master Chief Collection and Reach and all that. But man, the LAN parties with Halo were a treat. I enjoyed those a lot. That's Chef's Kiss.
Yeah, I think the height of that for me in high school was Halo 2.
Yeah, two's
Um,
probably my favorite. Well, Reach and 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Reach
they
is my
nailed it.
favorite as well. We're on the same page about this Halo stuff.
Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Halo Reach nails it.
Is it
It
nice
is-
to have a shooter fan back on the podcast for once, Fortwan?
Yes, it is. It very much is.
Oh, I played just about everything, but yeah, the Halo man. Oh, and even in college we'd play it. It was fun. That's
yeah.
oh,
So
I'd go back and do that again.
I pulled an all-nighter playing Halo 2 with one of my friends, a couple of my friends, LAN party at my buddy's place. And I gave myself exactly 1 hour of sleep before I had to go drive an hour and a half to class on a Friday. Thankfully, I didn't have to work that day.
College decisions.
Yes.
Oh,
And I lived an hour and a half away from class. I lived at home when I went to college, and I drove. And so I give myself, it was an hour and a half, maybe a half hour. I don't remember. It was not a lot of time. I slept with my contacts in. Like, it was so bad. Like,
that's the-
so many bad decisions that day. That was also the night that I played as nothing but the yellow suit. I played this bright yellow suit, and I called myself Banana Douche, and I was just like murdering people all day, and it's like Banana Douche double kill, Banana Douche triple kill. So like I was being a stupid teenager, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
I think I was probably 19, and then I drove to class, and there was a halfway to the school, there was a truck accident, as in like a tanker, oil tanker, just fell over in the freeway. 45-minute detour. So I had to get around, traffic jam and everything. Got to class 45 minutes late. Sat down. Only my friend Brian's in the room. And he's like, hey, class is canceled. And I had stayed up all night, drove all this way, like loaded up on caffeine and sugar so I could get through this class. And he's just like, class is canceled. And I sat down and I was like, the fuck? Why did
you could have just skipped class and played more Halo.
I know. I could have just not gone. And oh man. So him and I stayed there on our laptops. We played Guild Wars together for a couple hours, and I went home.
Nice.
So
Nice.
oh man, that was a rough day. So yeah.
That sounds like a rough day.
I mean, if it was fun, but it was also rough. Yeah. I don't know how I made it home. I'm pretty sure that was the day that I was dozing off while driving home, and I just don't remember a good 45 minutes of the drive home. I'm just like you know how sometimes you kind of zone out when you're driving, especially if you're tired. And then like I suddenly like mentally woke back up, and I'm like, why am I 10 minutes from home?
I have no memory of this place.
Where the fuck am I?
No, I knew where I was, but I was like, the last thing I remember is basically where the tanker went down. And I was like, I don't know how I autopiloted that long. That's dangerous. Spoilers for later on in my life. I did fall asleep while driving and get in a wreck later on, but that was overworked, not staying up playing Halo.
That back when my son was very, very young, like first couple months old, I was still on maternity leave. That was it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for a super small business, and we had physical paychecks. So I was getting maternity. Yeah, I was getting maternity pay, and I had to go pick up my physical paycheck.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, I only lived about 10 minutes from the store, so put the baby to sleep, and Steve goes to take a nap, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go pick up my paycheck. And the next thing I know, I'm pulling into the parking lot at the shop.
Mm-hmm.
No, just look at it. You just fast traveled to this store.
Apparently.
Yes, I used to call it teleporting to the girls. They're like, Daddy, where are we? I was like, you just teleported. It's okay.
It's just fast traveling. It's fine.
Yeah, you just teleported. It's good.
That was terrifying. Teleporting is terrifying.
Yeah, as an adult, it is. As a kid, it's wonderful. Okay. So Halo, 1 and 2, I suppose, right?
Halo. Gotta get that joke in. Sorry.
So Pan, what's your second game?
Hang on, I have the list on my phone.
Mine's on Notepad, and that's why you guys can actually see me today.
Mine's in my brain. I just kind of had to think on my feet.
Hey.
Oh! Elder Scrolls!
There you go.
So, okay. Picture it. Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Circa 2004, 2005. I'm a fresh-faced... Well, picture it.
Life.
A cornfield.
Okay, that's fair. Northern Ohio. I get it, yeah.
Yeah. basically, so I had my own laptop. It's a long story how I got that laptop, but I had my very own laptop at 15, and it was my prized possession. And I was going to get into some computer games because that is what I was like. You know what? My mom heavily regulated what video games we played on our consoles because she could see what was on the TV.
Fair.
But if I had it on my laptop, she couldn't tell me if it was bad, and I couldn't play it. And I heard a lot of buzz about this game Morrowind on GameFAQs forums. So I saved up my money and waited till there was some time at the mall where she was too busy with my little sisters to go watch what I was buying at GameStop. And I went into the GameStop and I bought this Morrowind Game of the Year edition.
Oh yeah.
Installed it on my laptop. And here's the thing about 15, 16-year-old me. I was homeschooled. My mom did a bad job of homeschooling me. I had way more free time than most people.
Yeah.
Like,
I imagine.
if you imagine the amount of free time you had during the quarantine, but stretch that out to 2 years. Except you didn't have free time because your business didn't actually stop.
No, we boomed. We boomed big, and I'm still suffering from it.
Well, dear listeners,
Yes.
from the age of about 14 to 19, I did fuck all except play video games. And one of those video games was Morrowind. So anyways, I boot that game up and I get to be any kind of elf I want. Or I could be a cat person. Oh my god, cat people are so cool. I'm gonna be a cat person.
Khajiit. Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
you like to sneak.
Yeah, but then I noticed that the stats on the Argonians were way better and they could breathe water. And I was like, oh, fuck being a cat person. I'll be a lizard.
I was a Nord. I picked Nord all the way.
I did Argonians because I liked reptiles.
So I did my first playthrough. I was an Argonian, purely for the stats. But then after every playthrough after that, I was a Dunmer because it seemed to me that Dunmer Jesus should be a Dunmer.
When I played on the Xbox, it was a Khajiit named Lion-O. Yeah, and then every other Elder Scrolls games, I make a Khajiit, and so I've had Panthro and Tigra, and unfortunately, I'm getting to Snarf or Chitara next.
I'd go with Chitara.
God help us.
I'd go with Chitara. I can handle her more than Snarf.
Or Kit or Cat.
No, I'd go with Snarf. Screw Kit. God,
Kit.
80s cartoons, Little Brothers. Oh no. Oh, like the barbarian from the D&D cartoon. Oh, fuck that kid. I hate him. Oh.
So, anyways, imagine my surprise when, I finally, I get busted out of jail, because that's what happens in every Elder Scrolls game at the beginning. And I go work for this guy, and I find out that I can steal every goddamn thing on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
I had never experienced that in a video game. My previous experience with this type of video game was like Zelda.
Yes. Were
There
they,
was a jump button. You could touch anything in the universe and move it around.
And if you jumped, you got better at jumping.
Yeah, I figured that out like 20 minutes in, where if I just constantly hopped everywhere, I could up my acrobatics real easy, and then I could hop higher and higher until you could until you could do like a 10-foot high jump. It was wonderful.
I did not enjoy how they fixed that in Skyrim.
Me neither.
The appeal of Morrowind is that it is so broken.
Yes.
To me anymore. You can break it the more you know about it.
And then I saw this other disc that came with my Game of the Year edition called the Elder Scrolls Construction Set.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll talk about that whenever we talk about mods in video games.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big thing. I
yeah.
had that. I didn't use it, but I had it.
Oh, I used the crap out of it.
You had a lot more time than me. That's
Yeah.
I did. I did. No.
I was in school trying to get a girlfriend at that age. It didn't work. No.
Nah, I was in my basement bedroom playing Morrowind for like 8 hours a day for 2 years.
I never did become head of the church.
Oh, I did. I became the head of like I did everything in Morrowind.
I got to the part where they're like, you have to get up to here, but you can't talk to anybody. And I was like, well, I don't know if religion's for me anymore.
Not allowed to talk to anybody. Fuck this. For sure.
It's a big map.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
I just wish I could stand and look at it anymore so I could go back and play it. But I really just the graphics hurt my eyes now.
A lot of the mechanics and stuff are really like, oh yeah, wait, you can't. I don't know how to use daggers, so I can just swing in the air wildly, and they'll just keep missing the crab. And the sky racers are the devil. The cliff racers can fuck.
The cliff
right
racers,
off.
yeah. No, there's in Skyrim there is in the lore of Oblivion there is this Dunmer who became a saint because he killed every sky racer in Morrowind.
It's the prisoner that you met in the.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he is in Skyrim. You can meet his ghost in Skyrim.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jayub is his name?
Jube. Yeah, something like that.
Jiub. Yeah.
Jube. Okay. I did not know that. I will say I didn't play Oblivion until after Skyrim, but I did play a lot of Morrowind, but I didn't get into Morrowind. Like I played it, I goofed around, I stole stuff, and I never got beyond like, I don't know, like level 10 or something like that. Like
Saint Jiub the Eradicator.
Fitting name.
Yep.
That's his name. There's
I imagine, just to give you a break while you sneeze.
Bless
I
you.
imagine when you were in the store secretly buying Morrowind, it was like one of those heist movies where you're like, "Is she here? All right. I need this game real quick." And the person behind the counter is just like, "Okay, it's just a game." Like,
yeah. Yes.
I was expecting some sort of secret clandestine drug deal. Like, hey man, you got the stuff?
No, I grab it. I looked around. I saw her go into the KB Toys with my sister, and I grabbed the thing. I grabbed Morrowind off the shelf. I give it to the guy. I'm like, okay, I gotta buy this quick.
I only have 30 seconds.
And then I whipped the money out. I whipped the money out onto the counter. I had it like pre-counted in my pocket, so I could just go bam.
Keep it.
You receipt.
And then I stuffed the box into my purse so that my mom wouldn't see that I bought something.
See, that's a big advantage that ladies have as a purse. I need to normalize
I took all the
man.
I took all the stuff out of it. I took all the stuff out of it so I could fit the box in there that day.
Yep. This is why I carry a messenger bag.
Merce.
I can't even respond. I only do that when I go to Magic and stuff. I don't just carry a messenger bag everywhere. Although I do carry a lot of laptop bags when we go to work. We now carry around 5 laptops. We had we had a series of is the code on this laptop game Thursday. It was like an old project from like 2017. I wasn't even with the company at the time, so I was just guessing like, okay, is it on this one? Is it on this one? Turns out it was on none of them. So we had to get the program through resurrecting their hard drive from the dead, which is amazing.
Start drawing the summoning circle.
Oh man, yeah, it was funny because like everyone had thought they had met me before, but they all met my brother. So this guy comes up and he pushes my shoulder. He's like, "How you doing, Chance?" And I'm like, I'm not Chance. I'm Sham. Hi, how you doing?
I've never seen your brother. I've heard him. He sounds very different from you, but I don't know if he looks different.
He looks different.
Okay.
A little. He's a lot taller than me. There's that.
Because like with Vulgar, I've met one of his brothers, and I've seen pictures of his other brothers. I would not be surprised if like a stranger mistook one of Devin's brothers for a different member of his family.
Even though Chance does,
Vulgar Latin.
Even though Chance does event quest with me on this umbrella of the Hunter's Hub, I doubt anyone will ever see his face. He's just not that way.
That's fine.
So, Morrowind. Okay, it was your number 2. It was a nice Mission Impossible story. I'm gonna have a complete opposite with Doom.
Yeah, your dad made you play it at 3 years old or some shit, didn't he?
I was 5 when it came out. I was 5, and he didn't make me play it. So, I was a kid that was prone to nightmares, overactive imagination, and stuff. Right. I had a lot of nightmares about Mario, except I wasn't Mario. I was the Goombas, and Mario was squishing me to death all the time. But I persevered. I love video games, so, and might be why I identify with monsters more than heroes in games, but whatever. So one night I start hearing what I feel is screaming, people dying. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. So I wake up my brother. I'm in the top bunk. My brother's in the bottom bunk. And we stealth crawl through the living room into what we called the middle room. So there was like this, so the house was like in a U. I had to visually describe this. So we had the kitchen, which connected to the bathroom, which like beside the bathroom was the master bedroom and then our bedroom. And he went forward, there's a living room. But inside of that U shape is this big T-shaped room called the middle room. And along the walls of that room are 4 computers. Because my dad
That's an impressive number of computers for the early 90s.
Yes, it is. My dad is an electrical engineer, and he owned his own business at this time, by the way. So he was actually, coding and programming and stuff, since I was a kid. So he had computers all the time. I grew up with computers in the house. So it was just a normal thing for me. So we sneak into the middle room to see my mom sitting next to my dad playing on what we used to call the small, the medium, and the large computer based on their monitor size. Being little kids, you don't really know that the computer is the tower, right? So they're all essentially the same size, but we called it the small, the medium, and the large based on the screen. Mom on the middle computer, Dad on the big computer, playing Doom. And co-op with my uncle, who's across the driveway via a LAN cable that they had dug out and buried. And so they were playing 3-player co-op of Doom. This brand new game.
This is the same Mortal Kombat uncle, right?
No. Different one.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat uncle lives in Chicago, which is where Midway was. This one lives nearby. He's
Well, I assume so, since he was playing by buried LAN cable in the yard.
Yes. My dad has an older brother and a younger brother. The older brother lives near us, and the younger brother's one in Chicago. And so they're playing together, and we just watch them for like 3 hours. We're like, what is this? Right? So we didn't want to get in trouble for staying up, right? So then...
That's wonderful.
We sneak back into our beds, go to sleep, and then during the day, we ask Dad, we're like, hey, can we play on the middle computer? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. Sure. So we get on the middle computer, and we start hunting for wherever this Doom game is. By the way, we still had DOS. You still had to boot things through DOS in these days. So we had a dual boot system of Windows 95 and DOS. So I would have to go. I already knew how to boot up games, so I would go into DOS and I was like, DOS, and then like a C:dir and like games dir, and it'd like fill up the whole thing, and I'm like, all right, I didn't know what the name of the game was, and I was like 5 or 6, so reading was out of the question. So I was like,
Carry on, I'll BRB.
yep. And I went through one by one, copying what was on the screen, hitting enter, and seeing what booted up. No, I played that one before. No, I played that one before. No, I played that one before. And then eventually,
Commander Keen.
yeah, eventually I hit Doom, and then Dad walks in and is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like, we wanted to play a game. So we ended up eventually just playing Doom, but and it was fun. I didn't get to play it too often because they're like, no, it's too violent for you. But then eventually that wore off, and I got to play it. And I don't remember. The funny thing is, I remember that story, but I don't remember when I got to start playing it regularly. I just don't. It just like became a thing. So I've been playing Doom since it came out, but like I don't like, and I never stopped. I still play it.
Doom holds up. It is. I'm a fan of 2 more. I think 2, like this is a recurring theme, I think, in most video games, where the second one is like way better. The super shotgun is probably one of the best weapons that ever existed in video games.
Yes.
Fight me, but
no, I agree.
Super shotgun
100%.
is the most satisfying thing in existence. I love that thing.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, like I still play it to this day. I still play mods. I was actually we do a thing. I'm not sure if you know Vulgar too much about the other shows I do, but we do one called Bickering Bucks with me and a couple buddies from college. And we basically do a video game book club, and we all 3 of us toss a game into the hat and vote on what game's going to come up next. And my toss in for this month, or this go around, because it's not just a month, was a new mod for Doom. So I'm still playing it, and there's like, oh, I haven't played this one yet, and I want to save it for the Bickering Bucks because they've never played classic Doom, and I want to make them play classic Doom with a mod. And yeah.
You need to make the Bickering Bucks play classic Doom on a pregnancy test.
Yeah, or a TI-84.
That's basic bullshit. No, you can do it on a pregnancy test now.
Oh, that's or a Minecraft running.
I think the pregnancy
switches.
test is literally because you can, not because it's good.
Well, no, of course not. It's because you can. Yeah.
So yeah, I was just, going to introduce them to some modern modding stuff and get into it, but we'll get into that in the modding episode, which we're alluding to, which is probably next week. So
He's foreshadowing.
Oh yeah. We don't. Sometimes we're just like, we don't know what we're doing. Just come back next week. It'll be fun.
But then we had 3 good ideas in a row.
Yeah, it's true. So Vulgar, you're number 3.
Sure. So I'm going to take us back to the grand old halcyon days of the Sony PlayStation.
Okay.
With a title that a lot of you probably are familiar with, Resident Evil.
I can hear the disc skipping now.
Yeah. And the majestic voice acting with you, Jill, the master of unlocking.
Steve got Legend of Dragoon on his PlayStation TV, and it still plays like the original PlayStation logo sound.
That's a nostalgic sound.
Good Lord, did I have a flashback when that booted up. For half a second, I was 10 years old again.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've played the original Resident Evil. Anymore, if I was to play Resident Evil 1, I'll play the remake, which is
like
the GameCube and everyone else probably there's no reason for you to dust off your PlayStation and put in Resident Evil, but I didn't have a choice. This was the style at the time.
Yes.
Thank God someone else will know the onion on my belt joke now.
Yeah. So we had it. We had a PlayStation, and yeah, Resident Evil for the time, and I'm thinking this is 1995, 1996. I cannot be much more older than 7 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Was terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
96.
Yeah, 1996 couldn't. Yeah, so that would put me at about 7 or 8, depending. Terrifying. Zombies. That dog hallway where they jump through the window is still scary. And they had the live action, which blew my mind at the time. You telling me the video games could have a live action sequence?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we played a ton of it. And this was before I could just go on the internet and look up exactly where I needed to go and how to solve the rather obtuse puzzles at time.
HappyPuppy.com. That's where I got my Resident Evil 2 cheats. I still
Yeah.
remember it.
Well, yeah, and I've kept up somewhat. I have not played 7 as much because I'm a big wuss and that one scares me, and I have not played 8. But I need to go back. But that first one, just heaps of nostalgia for me. I love it. It's good. I did actually end up beating the game as Jill, and then when it came back on the GameCube, I did beat the game again as Chris. So I've done it, but it's highly recommended. The remake still holds up. Like, I got the Xbox version. It's still good, which is weird. It's a GameCube game. It shouldn't look this good, but it does. It looks really good.
There's
the game
some that are just amazing.
It's the pre-rendered backgrounds, I think, that really kind of sells it. But it's the survival horror aspect, which was not.
Mhm.
It was very novel when I played it the first time, which, later games strayed from and then got back to. It's puzzle solving and kind of terror. It's a good Halloween game. Highly recommend it. Play through as Jill. She's the master of unlocking. Avoid becoming a Jill sandwich. And yeah, it's a great time. You don't remember that?
I didn't
remember
play
the
one.
Jill?
I only played 2.
Oh.
I only played 2, 4, and yeah, that's it. 2 and 4.
It's not like Star Trek, man. You can play the odd ones.
No, I know.
Anyway,
That's a good one.
those are perfectly fine. So in
Windows.
the first game, there is a room that has, like, you'll walk through and it's like, this is a big empty room. It's a big empty square room. What's the purpose of this? And you walk through the next room, and then there's just a shotgun on the mantle. And you're like, huh,
Uh-oh.
that's useful. And you take the shotgun, and ominously, the things that are holding it lift up. And if you're like, I don't know, 7 or some shit, you're just like, nah, that's weird. And then you walk backwards to the room that it came from, and then then then
I got coffee in my nose.
Oh no.
and then the roof starts falling in, and you're like on the big empty room, and then you're like, oh, that all tracks. Huh. And then you're just like, well, let's go back and put the shotgun back then. And it's like, that door's locked. It's like, well, I'm going to leave. That door's locked too. Like, oh, well, I'm going to die, huh? No, because Barry Burton, that sexy middle-aged man, kicks down the door and he rescues your ass. And then he pulls you out and he's just like, wow, that was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich. And it's like,
That
Hey.
voice acting. Yeah. No, I was actually introduced from the my uncle works at Midway. He actually got number 2. And he was like, guys, you have to play this game. We were visiting him, and he said it gave him nightmares, him and his new wife at the time. And He's still married to her, by the way. I don't know why I said it that way, but she was
I was
new.
gonna say the way
They were new at the time.
you said it sounded like she was like wife 2 of 5.
Yeah, no, I realized that. No, he had just married her. Is what it's the first time we went to their house since they were married. So like it was memorable to me in that aspect. But he was like, you got to play this. So he introduced us to both Tekken and Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 1. I already had a PS1 but I didn't play any of the Resident Evils or Tekkens or anything. So I got really into those 2 games while I was there, and we eventually got them at the house. But yeah, I was introduced to 2, and that's where I started, so I never went back to 1. And then I don't know why I skipped 3. I just think there was other things I was playing.
3 is pretty good. It's just kind of it's shorter, and it actually was initially intended to be a side story or like a spin-off game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, "Oh, well, we'll just make Resident Evil 3." And that Resident Evil 3 that they were making became Code Veronica. Yeah, and then a whole bunch of stuff. The Resident Evil 4 that they started working on actually became Devil May Cry instead, because they were like, "This is way different."
Know about that. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of fun Capcom stuff.
I want to watch you guys video game trivia off.
Yeah.
I will lose. I will lose. I am not.
Probably. Most people
not...
lose trivia to him.
I know stuff.
I am not very. It's like if it comes up on a PlayStation topic, I'm out. I have no idea. Like, I'm just. I've had every PlayStation. I only play a few games out of it. I'm much more follow certain series and Nintendo, and that's it. Nintendo's the only blanket one I follow. So.
Yeah, that was my Resident Evil story, and yeah, I highly recommend it. If you haven't, and like I think the Resident Evil remake's on like everything.
Pretty
at
much,
this point
yes,
in time. Yeah, you can play it. It's like $20. I recommend it.
All right, so Pan, your third one.
Also, timeout on me. I'll be right back.
Sure.
So, fun fact, last night when I was texting Vulgar Latin and trying to talk him into coming on the podcast, I accidentally texted somebody from work the list of games I was going to talk about tonight because I was trying to explain the topic to him. So there's this, like, midway in our conversation, there's this out-of-context message about Pokemon that my coworker got.
Nice.
And, like, after... Vulgar's usually very responsive to text. After he didn't respond after like 10 minutes, I was like, why the hell isn't he answering? And then I look, and I realized I accidentally texted my coworker, and I just said, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I texted the wrong person just now.
How did they take
it? He sent me a text at like 6 this morning. He just laughing at it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not inappropriate at all. It's just a weird, out-of-context thing about Pokemon.
Nice.
So
3?
Yeah, Pokemon.
Okay.
What?
Go ahead.
All right. So, picture it. Nebraska. It must have been early 99. No, 98. It was 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And, we moved around a lot when I was a kid, and we just moved to this new neighborhood. And I didn't know anybody, but there was this nice girl who lived down the street. And my mom said it was okay to play with her. Because my mom and her mom talked, and I guess it was okay to play. So I went over to her house, and she says, have you ever played Pokemon? No, what's Pokemon? Oh, it's a Game Boy game. Oh, the only Game Boy games I got is Tetris. And Mario World 2. So she shows me this cool game with a badass dragon on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, it's this game where you like keep monsters as pets, and then you make friends with them, and they're on your team. Because, we're like 9-10 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how she's explaining it. So she lends me her copy of Pokemon Red. And I commit the cardinal sin of borrowing somebody's video game, which I didn't know any better back then.
Mm-hmm.
But I started a new save file.
No. Oh, that poor old new friend.
Yeah. Her name was Gina. I don't remember the rest of her name, but her name was Gina, and she had an older brother named Jason. Because her brother had Pokemon Blue. And I, being I was 9 years old at the time, and I had only gotten up to like Viridian City at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a Pikachu. Because that's what's on all the marketing.
Yes.
So I offered her brother my Bulbasaur for a Pikachu.
Oh no. You
And he was
played
like-
Pokemon Yellow before it was
Well-
a thing.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
Pokemon Yellow?
Yeah. So I traded away my Bulbasaur. Now this was all on the save file that I was playing on after I destroyed his sister's save file, so none of it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Because I played it for like a day because she lent it to me and then she wanted it back. She never gave me shit over destroying her save file. She was a good friend.
That's a really good friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I then spent like 3 weeks saving up my money to buy it. I did like extra chores and I saved my allowance and I marched my butt right into Sears that still sold video games back then. And I bought a copy of Pokemon Red. I know what you're going to say. You can shut your goddamn mouth, vulgar Latin. I bought Pokemon Red because it had a badass dragon on the back instead of that stupid turtle.
That
Oh.
stupid turtle can kick the dragon's ass with bubbles. Bubbles.
It's kind of true. That's okay. That's okay. The green dinosaur that no one ever saw just takes a little leaf and that turtle's dead.
No, that turtle can learn Blizzard, and he fucks up Gary's thing. And you can just start doing DX crouch chops while you just use Blizzard on his Venusaur, and he dies.
Okay, that's fair. We're not talking like in trainer battles. Like, we actually have good moves.
Oh,
Fortuan, I'll tell you right now, Vulgar Latin and I have been arguing Squirtle versus Charmander for the better part of a decade.
I can
Squirtle's
join as
great.
the Bulbasaur fan.
Damn,
Yay!
Bulbasaur fan!
Wait,
He's number one.
I'm even wearing green, and you're wearing red. That's brown, gray.
Gray.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Turok
Yeah.
shirt.
Nice. So that's how I got into Pokemon and started a
Well, more than that.
well.
Oh,
I mean, there wa-
didn't see that. Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, it is a Metroid Triforce. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into Pokemon. I mean, there was a brief hiatus from about 2000 to 2004 or 2005 where I didn't play Pokemon because it was of the devil and my mom knew about Pokemon.
They evolve.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
Was
Satan
that-
sent them to corrupt the youth of America or some
okay.
bullshit. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I was more expecting the second one than does she really care about the evolving part?
No.
Okay.
No. She didn't know about that part.
Okay.
She also didn't know about the ghost Pokemon that possessed the spirit mediums in Pokemon
Yeah.
Tower.
Lavender Town. Yeah.
She didn't know about that. She just knew that the preacher said that Pokemon was sent by Satan to corrupt the youth of America.
As a Christian,
Satan must be really bored.
as a
Oh, I
Christian,
know.
I would like to say that most preachers are shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, totally sorry, but like, it's very rare for me to find a church that I like. The one around here that I was going to before the pandemic, nah. I went there because it was close, not because I liked what they were saying.
So, I didn't even have to do the whole Mission Impossible GameStop run to get a copy of Alpha. No, I got Alpha Sapphire because it had an orca whale on the front.
Oh.
But I didn't even have to do the Mission Impossible thing. I just point blank asked my mom, "Why do you think Pokemon is evil? Why am I not allowed to play it?" Like, we were in the middle of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't want to argue with me, so she said I could go buy it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The corner
Oh.
your parent tactic.
Yeah. So I missed out on the gold silver generation. Like I didn't play those until like a decade afterwards.
Right. Our buddy Morg is in the chat. Yeah, his favorite generation there, obviously.
I've only ever played blue, fire red on an emulator, and black. Unfortunately, never came back. I don't know why. I like them, but just never did it.
Well, it's the same thing over and over again, and if you're not invested, right, you don't. It's the
Oh
same
no,
thing.
I love the formula. I just I think I got to I captured an ice cream cone, and I was like, wait, what?
Vanillish.
We can't bitch about modern Pokemon designs. OG Pokemon had a goddamn Pokeball as a Pokemon.
OG Pokemon had a fucking mime. They're just like, what are you gonna do? What are the kids like? Mimes.
And a black-faced gypsy.
Purple face now.
I know.
Yeah. So I actually had Pokemon on my list as well. So, grade school me. We're gonna say 5th grade. So end of grade school, going into middle school. Pokemon is a craze. People are talking about Pokemon. They are trading cards on the playground. They are doing all sorts of crazy stuff. My friend is trying to convince me to play some Japanese game again, and I'm just like, no, we've done. Now later on, obviously Monster Hunter is the same thing, some Japanese anime bullshit that I don't want to see. This is an ongoing thing. Friends trying to introduce me to anime bullshit I don't like. Then every once in a while I try it and I love it. And then
We'll make a weeb out of you yet.
I like One Punch. That's
And cells at work.
Is it Hawaiian?
That's true.
Is that the
I did
punch
like
that you
Cells at Work.
No.
Sorry, what?
Oh, the one punch. Is it Hawaiian? Is that the punch that you like?
Mm-hmm. I like the out he just gave me. Yes. Oh man. So everyone, Pokemon's a craze. I'm like, I don't get it. What's the thing? And then I see the anime on like a Cartoon Network or whatever it was on at the time. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Kids WB.
Kids WB, there you go.
WGN.
And then I don't remember what the episode was. All I remember is it had Bulbasaur. I was like, they got fucking dinosaurs? I'm in. Like, so we went on to another vacation to Georgia, like I talked about with Monster Hunter. On the way down, my brother and I both have Game Boy Pockets? Yes, Game Boy Pockets. We had been playing Galaga and Tetris and
Nice.
that kind of stuff. And we got it because, you know, it's a 14-hour car drive. So then we're like, we should try this Pokemon thing. I'm getting red, you're getting blue. Let's do this. We then get down to Georgia. Pokemon is a craze. It is sold out everywhere. I mean, like, it's just sold out. So we convince our grandma to let us do some work for her, which meant planting her garden in Georgia in the summer. So, sweating buckets, eating gnats with every breath in. I hate Georgia. We work this garden. We get enough money, the $50 it is to pick up both copies. We give our money to so my grandma was there with her boyfriend, so it would be her boyfriend's son's fiance worked at Kmart. And we gave her the money, and supposedly there was going to be a restock, and it didn't happen. And then she kept the money, not like for good. She kept the money just in case. The next day, the restock happened, and she picked us up the copies and gave them to us when she got back from work the next day. She was actually a really sweet lady. I liked her a lot. I'm glad she got out of that family.
I thought this was about to take a dark turn.
No. She was the nice one in the bunch of people that I hated there. So we got Pokemon, and we were super hyped. I picked Charmander because I didn't know you could look at the Pokemon and back out. I was just like, that one, and I went with it. Bulbasaur is actually my favorite, so I did a new playthrough pretty soon after where I picked Bulbasaur. And then my brother always stuck with Squirtle.
Good man. Good choice. Solid.
If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. He could correct me later on and be like, no, I totally did Charmander. I don't know. And that's all I did that whole vacation. They were like, don't you want to go outside and play? No. Why would I ever want to go outside here? It's terrible. But I played Pokemon and I watched Iron Giant for the first time. And that was a pretty good summer. It was one of the few enjoyable times in Georgia, even though there was a lot of suck around it. Having Pokemon and the Iron Giant to watch was pretty awesome. I talk a lot of crap about those trips. It was nice spending time with my grandma. It was really awesome.
A random child has appeared.
Yes, and she was spotted. Look, even the dog's confused. What just happened?
Wait, did she come in to tell you that she had to get up and go to the potty?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, glad we're all on the same page then.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was my Pokemon story. Fell in love with it, played it forever. Then I found Monster Hunter and I dropped it like old news. Up until later on. I mean, I've played all of them, but I've been an extremely light player of Pokemon since. And then, as people know, you don't know this, Vulgar, but I now RP in Pokemon. I now play as Bug Trainer Cham. Cham being my real name. Or real nickname. And I only catch bug Pokemon, and I try to IV and EV train them up to the max and make the most ultimate bug team and still get squashed by one bird Pokemon. And it's all good.
I would play Pokemon like an idiot. Looking back as a kid, I would just like, oh, rare candies just level up a Pokemon? Well, I'm just going to give it to Squirtle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this just raises stats? I'm just going to give it to Squirtle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I ended up with, like, I have a level 85 Blastoise, and then I have a Farfetch'd.
At level 12.
God help me. He flies.
Yeah, I figured out real fast that Psychic was broken in first gen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the reason that all the kids in our neighborhood had a rule of only one Pokemon, like only one copy of a species on your team.
Oh.
Because I had Charizard and 5 Alakazams.
No. That's so rough. Oh, man. Wow, I would have never thought of that. Like, I was always like, I gotta hit all the types. So, like, I remember.
Oh, no, PvE. I totally did that. But like when I went to square up against the other neighbor kids, I had Charizard. I had Charizard and 5 Alakazams.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Yeah,
I'll be right
had
back. I gotta go help her get back in bed.
Sounds good. Yeah, I had the Squirtle, and if the Squirtle didn't, like, I basically soloed, like, Iron Man with the Squirtle up until Lieutenant Surge. And thankfully, Lieutenant Surge is a big chump if you just have a Geodude that you just find in a cave.
Or Diglett, which you find in the cave 30 feet from his house.
Yeah. I went with Geodude because I watched the show, and I was just like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Lieutenant Surge? Yeah, nothing. Geodude stayed in the team, by the way. He earned his spot. Yeah, I'm a bad Pokemon trainer as an adult and a child. Mostly as a child. Yeah.
What are the games you got to talk about? What's your next one?
Well, let's stick with Nintendo. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at 1-1. Right from the beginning. Super Mario Brothers. We'll go with that one. It is probably I imagine that I have played the earlier Mario Brothers. There's no way that I didn't. But the one that probably is in my mind the most is Super Mario World. Super Mario World, I have played so much of this game. I can still probably, if you were to just drag me out and just give me a Super Nintendo with Mario World and just like beat game, I could probably do it in like an hour if I've given my druthers. It's great. It just left such a big impression on me. I can't remember the first time I've played it, but I cannot remember a time when it did not exist in my entire life. I would have had it at like 3 or 4 years old, and yeah, everything about that game. It is a masterpiece. And I've played the earlier ones, Mario, the original Mario Brothers, the arcade ones. That's fine. Super Mario Brothers, that's pretty good. 3 is awesome, but World always gonna pick Super Mario World. Yeah, and then I kind of fell off because I don't have any Nintendo stuff. Odyssey was fine. I liked that.
When I was little and we moved around a ton, we had a SNES, and it was always like number one priority for us to like get our SNES hooked up to the TV. Like, you know, we get moved into the new place. We're like, Dad, you got to set up the TV. We got to get the SNES hooked up. And then like my brothers and I would just play Super Nintendo. So he would actually just wait to hook it up so that my brothers would help move in. I didn't have to help move in because I was 4 and a little girl and not good for moving furniture.
Now, Super Mario Brothers, that one's, yeah. I think I had the base one, and then we also had the All-Stars.
Yeah.
That All-Stars one, that's class.
It is. With the Lost World and Super Mario 2, heck yeah. We got both the Mario 2s.
Exactly. Yeah, we have the Lost World, which is good, and then the other Mario 2, which is there. It's fine.
Believe it or not, my first game I ever beat was the Doki Doki Mario 2.
Huh. Yeah, I think I've beaten that one too. Like in college, I really went through and just did them all, and then did the alternate ones. But my pick was Mario World. That's the
I figured. That's the better one.
It's
yeah,
it's amazing. It's I would still say it's probably one of the best games on a Nintendo platform. I'm gonna call my shot. Not my favorite Super Nintendo game, but up there.
Okay.
It's hard to beat. I'm not gonna say it because Donkey Kong Country just they stopped making them, but Donkey Kong Country 2, best game on the Super Nintendo. That's my called shot. I think it's damn good.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't play the Super Nintendo a ton, mainly because I had older brothers who did play it a lot. Both of y'all firstborn bastards.
You got to get yourself some Donkey Kong Country 2.
Donkey Kong Country is still alive and well. Tropical Freeze was amazing. Even though it's been a long time since that came out.
Yeah, I mean, they exist, but
they're not as good. They're not as good. But
the rare ones are
better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's aged a little bit worse, but two is where it peaks out. 3 is fine.
3 is crazy. 3 is just, if you ever look into Donkey Kong Country 3, it's just insane. Because like all other platformers, worlds have like, here's the narrative of the world. You were introduced to a mechanic of the world. You play a couple levels, you mix it up a little bit, you end testing all your knowledge. Scrunch that into every fucking level of the game, and that's Donkey Kong Country 3. New mechanic, every level.
Y'all want to have a snowball fight with a snowman? We got you.
Yep. That's a boss fight. You throw snowballs at a snowman.
What's this thing? Boats.
Mm-hmm.
What's K. Rool's thing? He's a scientist.
He's a mad scientist. Yeah.
He's a mad scientist, King Crocodile.
Yes.
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 I think it's Dr. K. Rool.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Dr. King or King Doctor?
You know, I don't think they actually use the king. I'm not sure.
I think he dropped King. I think we dethroned him, and in exile, he became a pirate. And after that didn't pan out, he tried medicine.
I think he's
Yeah.
Yeah, he became a pirate. You're right.
He did. That was 2.
It's a little confusing because he starts on a pirate ship, which directly transitions into Donkey Kong Country 2, because the ship crashes when you beat him, and the crashed ship is level 1 of Donkey Kong Country 2. So
And
Yeah.
he's still a pirate in Donkey Kong 64.
He's a king as well.
yeah,
He was full on king, and you
He's
have
the
to go.
pirate king.
Yeah,
You
and
get
you
the
have to
other
go.
pirates to vote him in.
And you have to go into his shoe and fuck up his toes.
it was kind of cool that, like, you're thinking about it, like Donkey Kong Country 1 had that cool transition into 2, and then in 3 it was like, hey, here's Dixie Kong, and we're gonna throw her in a Canadian lake. Have fun.
Oh, and she has a baby brother named Baby. Or Kitty. Kitty. His name was Kitty. Kitty Kong. Yeah. Donkey Kong is kind of a shit protagonist if you think about it. He got captured in like 2/3 of his games.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't even in Donkey Kong the arcade game. That was Cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we all know that bit of trivia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Donkey Kong, not like aside from like Smash Brothers, he's very rarely playable.
It's true. Very true. Although he is playable in both Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. So is Cranky. Cranky you can play in Tropical Freeze. Cranky's broken. He uses his cane as a pogo stick. How that works, I don't know. But all
DuckTales,
spikes are
man.
nothing to him. All
Yeah, you
spikes
go.
are-
Pogo sticks help you traverse the world. That's how Scrooge McDuck taught us back in the day.
Well, all DK characters were captured at one point. Not true. Dixie was never captured.
Nope, she made it out,
Thwarting that stereotype.
and Kitty was never seen or heard from again after Donkey Kong Country 3.
I assume he was euthanized at the end of 3. I just...
I think he might be Tiny. I would hope he's Tiny. Like he changed his name, and from 64.
No, Tiny was his older brother, I think. Wait, or younger brother. They say he's actually his brother. One of the two. It's so weird. They just
Yeah,
they're all over the place. Rare was just really weird about DK64. Like, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but the choices of characters in that game are bonkers.
But they just picked characters that would help fit into the rap, which was clearly the peak of the entire.
Oh,
series.
you missed last week.
2 weeks ago, but yeah,
That's right, 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
420 did a DK style rap about
2004.
God, what was it about? Yeah,
Year
about 2004 video games.
Mm.
Revolutionizing shooters like it ain't no thing.
No coconuts, guns. They fire in spurts.
It shoots ya, it's gonna
It's
hurt.
gonna hurt.
DK Donkey Kong.
Oh,
I love that rap. Sorry. All right. So I assume that was your number 4.
yes.
Okay. So Super Mario World. We
Mario.
were way off track from Super Mario World.
We've diverted. We've exceeded the orbit of Mario World.
I have one. I have one addendum to Super Mario World, and it exists in the modding scene, and I haven't played it. Another thing for a topic next week, but I can't talk about it next week because I never played it. everyone should watch Kaizo Mario runs, because Kaizo Mario is fucking insane. So essentially, do you know what Kaizo Mario is? Either of you two?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I watch GDQs. They have them all the time.
Oh yeah. So
Educate me.
Kaizo Mario are ROM hacks of Super Mario World. But they purposely make it like frame perfect, brutally hard.
Yeah,
That sounds like Devin would know about that kind of thing.
it's like some of those are real rough and exist to kind of show off some of the weird tricks and different mechanics that Mario doesn't teach you about.
Right.
They're nuts.
They are nuts. They have all sorts of crazy, like, what do you call them? Like custom things as well, like custom codes. But they for the most part, they use the exact like Mario mechanics to do the moves and stuff. It's just insane. It's like triple turtle shell jumping and stuff like that. Like where you kick a shell off a wall, jump off of it, grab it again, kick a shell off a wall, like it's like really like frame perfect tricks that they actually ask you to do and stuff. It's insane. Just 6 days ago on the Games Done Quick channel, the summer GDQ just happened, which is the fundraiser event they do for Awesome Games Done Quick. Two runs. I looked it up while I was talking about it. Storks and Apes and Crocodiles is one of the mods, and someone finished that in almost an hour. And Let's Give Up is another Kaizo Mario that they did.
Let's Give Up seemed really hard.
Yes, it did.
I watched that one. It was, yeah.
I didn't watch them live. I watched them after the fact. It looked pretty insane.
Yes.
So there you go. Super Mario World. All right, Pan, number 4.
All right, so the next game I wanted to talk about is the Harvest Moon series.
Mm-hmm.
I've made no secret of that on this podcast, that I'm a big fan of slice of life farming games.
Got me to play a few of them, and I enjoyed my limited time with them. I did not finish them, but I enjoyed the time I did with them.
Yes. I'm sure this is the first you're hearing of this vulgar Latin.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, slice of life farming games, Harvest Moon 64 was my first entry into the series. Like I said before, I had that N64 that I saved up and bought, and after my horrific experience with Superman 64, I decided to be a lot more choosy about my video games that I buy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had several games on my 64 at this point, but I had a hot $35 burning a hole in my pocket, and that tells you how much a new game cost back in the late 1990s. Because we were in the Walmart, and I'm looking at that glorious shelf of video games, and I see this one, and the box art looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the bar. That is the threshold for video game purchase decisions, there.
We did a whole episode on it.
Yeah, and I talked about this game back then because this box art, it's this little chibi farmer guy with a hat and his dog running through town, and I just thought that art looked so interesting. And what the fuck is a Harvest Moon? That sounds like some kind of like old-fashioned fairy tale adventure.
Yes.
I was wrong. But that's okay, because I was wrong in a wonderful way. I bought that game, and, it was like a 30-minute drive from Walmart back to my home because I actually lived in the middle of nowhere. And I read through the instruction manual, and I read all this art. I read all these little backstories of all the characters in the town, and I kind of learned about this game. This was not some sort of whimsical fairy tale adventure. This was a game about inheriting your grandpa's farm and making a life for yourself. That's cool. I can have fun with this, hopefully. Yeah, I stayed up till 3 a.m. playing that game.
Of course.
Yeah. No, we got home. And I basically played it till dinner time. Then I ate dinner and I helped did the dishes and stuff, and I played it some more. Then my mom told me to go to bed. So I laid awake in my bed till I
Heard her
didn't
go to
hear
bed?
any.
Yeah.
Till I didn't hear anyone walking around upstairs. Then I snuck back out into our living room because our living room was in the basement. And then I played it till 3 a.m.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's great. Harvest Moon 64 is the game that inspired Stardew Valley. So if you're a fan of Stardew Valley, I very strongly recommend you find some way to play it. It's kind of expensive to find a cartridge of it.
For sure.
No, a friend of mine like collects video game cartridges, and I think he said it's going for about $60 on eBay right now. But you can find it on the Wii U Virtual Console, and there are other less pay money to Nintendo ways to find it.
Awesome.
But yeah, Harvest Moon 64, it's a wonderful little slice of life farming game.
Just so people know, if they want to go back and listen to that episode where Pam talks about that, that is How to Sell Your Game in the 90s, Hunter Step episode 153. So,
Yeah.
this is going to be, what, 174, I think?
Something like that.
Why not
But,
I just look? I have that.
Okay.
173. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. But since we're on the topic of the slice of life farm games, the whole thing that gave me the idea for this topic tonight was when I was talking to Fortuan a couple weeks ago about my first experience playing Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I had heard about Stardew Valley in the Harvest Moon community for like a year and a half before it came out. Like, the Harvest Moon community was hyped as hell for Stardew Valley to come out because, well, there had been some legal disputes with the Harvest Moon franchise, and you can look it all up in Wikipedia if you want, but there hadn't been a decent Harvest Moon game in some time at that point. And the community was really itching for something to play, and there wasn't the explosion of slice of life farm games there was because Stardew Valley started that. So, anyways, I hear, like, 3 days before Stardew Valley came out, the developer, Concerned Ape, said, all right, guys, I'm just pulling the plug now. I'm pulling the trigger now. I'm going to release it. It's never going to be ready to my perfection in any reasonable time frame, so I'm just going to release it now. So then became like a 3-day countdown to it. And I told my husband, we were kind of poor back then, so I saved up, I spent the $20 to buy it. And my husband preloaded it onto my computer for me while I was at work. And he went out to like the liquor store across the street and got my favorite beer. And when I got home from work that day, he like had a beer poured in a glass, in a cold glass for me. And he had the game like preloaded, and he's like, "Here you go, have fun."
Steve's amazing.
Yeah. And I started up, and then there's that cinematic of you, like, the opening cinematic of Stardew Valley where you're like a wage slave at this Uber corporation.
I love this cinematic. I love the fact that there's a skeleton in one of them. That is so funny.
Yeah. And I just I start drinking my pumpkin beer. That's what it was. It was a pumpkin beer, a Sam Adams pumpkin beer. I just start drinking it, and I'm just like crying because I'm finally like playing a decent Harvest Moon game.
All from the intro, you knew it was decent. Awesome.
Well, no, yeah, and it was just wonderful, and the music was great, and it was perfect.
That title's music is so good.
Yeah, I have it all on vinyl.
Up until I had played Stardew Valley, the only Harvest Moon I'd played was an emulator of the Super Nintendo version, and yeah, it blew me away. I didn't know there were others after. I was just like, this. Nobody ever talked about Harvest Moon. I was just like, what's this weird farming game for the Super Nintendo? Yeah, it was.
N64. But yeah,
I had the Super Nintendo. No, it was a Super Nintendo game.
Oh, okay.
I had this. Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought it was only 64. Sorry.
No.
My bad.
It's, yeah. I can't recommend that
version.
Stardew Valley exists. It completely blows it out of the water. There's no reason to go back to that version of Harvest Moon. It's totally unfulfilling.
The other thing is that Harvest. Well, if there's any like deep cut Harvest Moon fans listening, they're about to murder me. But in my opinion, Harvest Moon Magical Melody on the GameCube is basically Harvest Moon on the SNES, but better in every way with additional mechanics and more fun stuff. Like it's the same story and the same characters.
I'm so mad. Arg.
I've gotten yelled at on Reddit for that opinion.
You get yelled at on Reddit for stating facts, so I just like that is a good poster thing.
It's my vinyls.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I only do the board game. Thank you.
We have that too. Have you come over to play it? We have that.
No, I would love to.
Yeah, we have it.
Sounds lovely.
Samuel looks confused. Yes, there's a Stardew Valley board game. We have it.
Nice. The only video game crossover board game I would have had is the Monster Hunter one, but they wouldn't take my money, so I won't have it. I literally tried to buy it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to be really into board games.
I don't see enough people in person to be into board games.
Well, I had a very Burgess Meredith time enough at last thing with my board games where I was like, oh, this pandemic, I have all the time in the world to play all my board games. And I was like, no, you can't.
Because you need people.
And then my glasses broke and then I couldn't read.
Ha!
Oh no. The Twilight episode? The Twilight Zone episode? Oh no.
So, fun fact, the board game collection behind me. Sorry listeners, you can't see the impressive number of board games behind me. Many of them are Dominion. Yeah. But yeah, fun fact, we used to co-own an incredibly massive video or board game collection with Vulgar Latin.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know what the count was at its peak. Easily in the hundreds of board games.
If I have those pictures of when we did the breakup,
yeah, it's on. I've got it on Facebook.
Yeah, there you go. You just post that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah,
I've seen those pictures, yeah.
Yeah, I've showed them to Fortuan before, but yeah, we had to break up the collection because the board game room was an entire room in our apartment, and we had a small child who needed his own bedroom more than we needed a board game room.
Yeah, no,
I don't see it, but sure.
I mean,
so we had to break up the collection.
Yeah, kid and dog. Kids and dog. I should say.
Yeah. So yeah. We have many board games.
A lot of mine are in the closet.
The board.
They should feel free. They should feel free to be themselves and not be afraid of your judgment.
Oh no, they can come out of the closet whenever they want, but it just has to be the right for them.
Gotcha. They need their time to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am ashamed to say that I own exactly 3 board games. But one of them is a board game, and I love it, and it's called Munchkin. And I love Munchkin.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we have Munchkin. Do we have Munchkin?
Oh, we got you, fam.
Oh.
We got some fucking Munchkins.
You want to play Munchkin? Do you want to go down? Do you want to go to war for it?
I don't have all of the expansion. I don't have them all.
No sane person has all the Munchkin.
I do have.
Steve Jackson doesn't have all the Munchkin.
It's true. No, I'm talking about the vanilla Munchkin expansions, not Munchkin Zombies, not Munchkin Star Trek, not all that. Just vanilla Munchkin. That
ain't even some crazy Munchkin.
No, I think we had Cheat with Both Hands and Clerical Errors because I thought that the title Clerical Errors was hilarious.
We have so much bullshit Munchkin.
I have Cheat with Both Hands, Clerical Errors. There's one that has like druids and rangers and stuff where you get to adopt the monsters as your own team. Whichever one Something riding it too, like to play on the F your horse and whatever, and
The horse you rode in on or something?
Yeah, something like that. Like I love Munchkin. I will say I have a board game that I have yet to be able to play. I've not even opened it.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Oh my
that's
stars
crazy.
and garters!
That never happens.
Such a crazy story.
Whoa,
When you have three-
oh, surprise!
When you have
No.
three, it's a bit of a different thing, Pan. Okay, but
No,
you can't read
this
it,
is
I guess. But it's
Happy Little Dinosaurs.
Happy Little Dinosaurs. I still have the sleeves to put the cards in. I actually saw it on Facebook, like a Facebook advertisement, and got it. And I own Myth, and Myth isn't even at my house. It's at my friend Brian's house, and we still I've owned this game for 6 years, and no one knows how to play it. It's a Kickstarter I backed for over $200. It's so complicated, we haven't been able to play it.
You don't say.
I don't.
Why would you call us out this way, Fortuan? Why would you call us out? Why would you attack us so?
How am I attacking you? I'm attacking Myth. It's too complicated. Do you guys have Myth? Is that the problem? Okay.
We have so many bullshit board games that we've never learned how to play that we backed on Kickstarter.
Oh,
There's so many of them.
I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
God.
Oops. I'm sorry.
It's not like I
It's not.
a whole bunch of money on Twilight Imperium, the 3rd edition, and never played Twilight Imperium. Or
Hey,
it's not like some
Look at the
dumbass.
clips.
I have played Twilight Imperium. I know that one. I have a story about Twilight Imperium. So, I don't know what edition I played, but we had a bunch of people over for a New Year's party. And this was supposed to be, it was my first time playing. And this is the New Year's, not before the pandemic, but before that one. So, New Year's
18 into 19.
Yeah, 18 into 19. I know that I was playing some sort of race that had ships that could shoot across star systems. Like it could shoot 2 spaces. But I played the long con and just like conquered like a few areas and just sat on them and turtled, because that's what I like to do in strategy games, is turtle, right? So, I almost won. I was 1 point away from winning, but there was such an argument between other players that everyone quit. Everyone rage quit, and I lost because everyone quit.
No, I'd say you won because everyone forfeited.
That's also true, but it was kind of like a null set. Everyone was just like, no one wins. It's all draw. Kind of that's what they all agreed on. Like,
well, they can agree on it all they want, but I played as actually turtles, and we controlled Space Congress, and that's how I won.
Was I the turtle
Democracy.
race? Is that the
There was
turtle
a race. No, I don't know, but I literally was a race of turtles who were good at diplomacy.
I think that might be the race I was, because I think they are the ones that can shoot two spaces with their special ship.
Yeah, I don't know. I never used the ships. I wanted to be good at Space Congress.
No, I set up the perimeter, and then I did Space Congress. Like I protected my Space Congress. I you know what, Vulgar? You and I would get along.
I would imagine.
Anyways,
It's video games.
True.
Fortuan, the story of backing some bullshit board game on Kickstarter, and then it turns out to be really fucking complicated, and you play it once or maybe never. It's a common one.
I have a closet full of games I've never played. I'm sure they're great.
So
This wonderful view of all these board games behind me is like a physical representation of my Steam library.
A monument to all of my sins.
the unplayed Steam library. Yeah.
Except I will say that, like, I've played most of the games at least once. Most of. I will not say I've played all of them once. most of.
You haven't played Space Hulk.
He gave that to us as a wedding present.
No, I didn't.
We played Space Hulk. We played it once back during the quarantine.
I didn't give you Space Hulk. I bought Space Hulk for Steve, but it was a different one. It was
someone gave us Space Hulk as a wedding present. I thought.
I gave you a different 40K game that wasn't necessarily Space Hulk, but I also gave you Space Hulk.
Hang on, Steve has something to say.
Oh boy.
Oh no, Steve is
popcorn.
Steve's doing something.
There's some.
That one. Yeah,
Horus Heresy.
that's the one. That's the one I bought. Yeah.
We've never played it. We did play Space Hulk. And Steve won by bullshit.
That's how most
But-
board games go.
But anyway, video games.
Yes. So Harvest Moon 64
Yep.
and Stardew. Is that like a
Yep.
combo or is that two?
That's a combo.
Okay.
I got one more.
Sure. I actually, because of what you were saying, replaced one. with a
Same
different
here.
one. I was going to talk about what's on my shirt, Turok. However, I love Turok. It was a cool story how I got introduced to it through a gaming magazine and blah, blah, blah. But it's not as interesting as the one that I'm going to end on now. So Diablo. Diablo is not this one. But Diablo is a good story. And it is similar to how Turok was introduced. I was subscribed to PC Gamer when I was a kid. And we're talking like 7, 8, 9. When I was 8 or 9, Diablo was featured in a magazine. This big like PC Gamer spot of like 4 pages. And I was like, this looks amazing. And I wanted it. However, being a kid, I didn't have a way to buy it. Also, it was one of the few times where my parents said, that's too violent for you. One of the few times. And I was like, okay. Just got to wait for the day. So I had some money. I waited 2 years to be able to play. Now, keep in mind, Diablo 2 had already come out. This is post 2000. I think in 2000. Yeah, 2000 is when Diablo 2 came out, and then 2001 is when Lord of Destruction came out, if I'm not mistaken. Late 2000, I was able to get Diablo 1 on my computer, and I played the shit out of this game because I had been reading about it and reading all sorts of things online about how awesome it was for 2 years. Like, constantly just obsessed with this game for 2 years that I wasn't allowed to get until I finally was able to get it. And then I played the shit out of this game. And it was one, I think it was my first online game where I actually had to interact with people and stuff. And I was part of the whole thing, you know, the hacked items, the duping, the stealing people's duping items. That was not me. That was a friend that did that. It was hard to be friends with someone who would constantly get his account banned and never get to play with them. But so like I don't know. It was like it's not like on paper to me. It's not a super interesting story. But like the fact that I just sat on this game for 2 years, just like pining over it for so long until I was finally able to get it. And then when I got it, I just fell hard. Of course, I'm still a big Diablo fan. I still talk about it. I went on a rant last week with Morg about how I want to do an ARPG episode, but I never can because Pan won't play him, and Morg didn't play him at the time. You know, Morg's not with us anymore, and like I wanted to play it.
Can Hades be counted as an ARPG?
Almost. It plays
Okay.
like one. It does not have the loot like one.
Okay, never mind.
Oh. Don't you have a phone? Oh.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Just go out there and twist the knife.
Well, actually, Diablo 4 is looking amazing. I am super hyped for Diablo 4. Got into a little bit of Diablo 3 recently, playing with the kids. The kids and I have been playing Diablo 3 together every once in a while. Not this weekend though. They are much more interested in Minecraft again.
My boy loves watching me play Hades.
It's a fun game. It's super flashy. I can understand.
He says, I want to watch that show. That show.
I like it. I like Hades quite a bit. An ARPG plays like Hades, but you get random loot, kind of, in Hades. You have like a set of random abilities you get in Hades versus, here's the multitude of like calculated items that could be in Diablo, like randomized stats, numbers, affixes, all crazy amounts of randomization. And also entirely random levels, whereas Hades, you have like a level set. Well, their layouts are random, so Hades is very close. I will say it's closer than I was thinking at first, but
Okay.
You could go with Minecraft Dungeons. That's exactly like my Diablo, but worse.
I was saying this last week. There are some great ones that if you want to get into, like I said, obviously Diablo 2 coming out soon for Switch and everything, the remaster. Diablo 3 is a great one to get into as well. And I would say of the other ones, if you're looking to get into them, Grim Dawn is great, and that's what I've been playing lately. Titan Quest is probably better to get into because it's less complicated. And the same mechanics of Grim Dawn, just less mechanics. If that makes sense. Available on
Victor
both.
Brand was pretty fun. That was
Mm-hmm.
similar. That was pretty. I enjoyed my time with Vic.
And apparently Wolcen is doing better, although Wolcen was quite a botched launch. But yeah. Oh, and the Torchlight series. Torchlights are always decent. I don't care for them too much myself, but Torchlight is... At least I enjoyed my time with 3, but I was the only one playing it, so... So yeah, Diablo. I don't really have much to say. I've talked about that story a couple times on the show, and it was just 8-year-old me wanting to play a violent video game. Of course, the Butcher was insane. Uh-oh. I think we lost Vulgar. To explain, Pan, you don't hear any monsters talk until you see the Butcher. So open up the door.
Sorry.
You're like, we lost your video. We still have your... Oh, there you
There
go.
we go.
there it is.
Yeah, it like Discord decided apropos of nothing to just hard crash.
Ooh, okay. Well, at least you're still recording, right? So...
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I was talking a little bit about the Butcher. The Butcher being like one of the memorable early parts in the game where you're just like, hey, I'm just a lowly adventurer. I'm going to open this door. Oh, fresh meat. And you're like, ah! If you guys need to watch it, there's a Carbot cartoon that does Diablo. It's called Diablo, and it's a really great series of just like animated things. He does StarCraft and Warcraft, but the Diablo series is by far hilarious, and the Butcher scene is exactly how everyone reacted. He's like, uninstall, shut down the computer, hide under his bed. Like, it's just hilarious. So I guess we're on to our final one for Vulgar.
Yeah, so I've been having to go through. I've decided to go with, because y'all stole some of mine and I didn't want to repeat because I was like,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I was like, I'll talk about Doom. I'll talk about the Elder Scrolls. That son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Bortwan and I both talked about Pokemon. It was fine.
No, I know, but I was like, I gotta come out the gate. This is first time guest star, and I gotta come out the gate with five bangers.
Yeah.
So
they've been pretty good so far.
So I'm gonna talk about a game that I played on PC, 2001, late 2001. This is It's a game about it's a plot of revenge between a man and his ex-girlfriend in a
This is getting
sleepy little
spicy.
town called Liberty City. And that game is Grand Theft Auto 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 is the first time I played it, I believe we got it off of BearShare or Kazaa or some other illicit means because my dad did not like to buy things that he could get for free. And I think that the statute of limitations has ran out and you can't prove anything, so I don't want to hear it, cops. So we got Grand Theft Auto, and I have played so much of the of Grand Theft Auto 3. I don't think I could ever go back to it. There's so many quality of life improvements that they've added over the years. But man, is that game good.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't have as great of a soundtrack as the other ones, or motorcycles, or helicopters, or functional airplanes.
Or tanks.
Oh, no tanks. No. It's good. And also the map's really confusing in Liberty City. I got lost a ton. And no GPS or anything because it's 2001 and nobody had that. There's nothing like it. I don't think. Just the open worldness. I think it really revolutionized that part of it. The fact that you could just grab a taxi cab and just like, oh, what do you want to do? You want to just start taking fares?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, why not? And while it's not my favorite anymore, it instilled a love that has persisted even though I don't really like 4 and 5. But yeah, it kept me going. Those first three, Vice City, which is probably my favorite because the 80s theme is just awesome. San Andreas, top-notch games.
Okay.
Top-notch. And I don't know why my parents would just let me play games when I was very, very not the age range. Because I could pick up prostitutes.
I famously showed my mom that you could get a prostitute, have her get out of the car, and then beat her to death with a baseball bat and get more than your money back.
Yeah, because they have money too.
So she
What
was,
was your
like,
value?
why are you allowed to play this game? I was like, I mean,
I don't know. You're the adult.
I was like, I just shrugged. I was like, I don't know. And Dad's like, it's fine.
It's fine. Don't kill prostitutes, son.
See, a lot of these times, see, I wasn't like a totally unrestricted pan. Like my mom was always like, what is this? What are we doing here? And my dad, who had a little bit more of a freedom as a child, was like, he's a good kid. It's not gonna be a problem. Like
My dad had the thing of just like, well, don't do it. And also, look at all those people in the loading screens. Do any of those people look like happy people to you? Exactly. And then that's
that's some sound logic. Do they look happy? Oh boy.
he's right.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so Grand Theft Auto 3. I enjoyed Driver a lot because of like Grand Theft Auto 3 had that crazy like, oh no, the cops are flipping on their cars and stuff, and like you can get into these crazy wrecks and stuff, and that's why I got into Drivers because Grand Theft Auto 3, and then Drivers stopped being good after Driver 1. So
Driver 2 was legit. That you could get out of your car. Driver
didn't.
1, you were locked into your.
I
Driver
wanted
2,
to
you
be
could get out.
I wanted to be locked into my car and have 17 cops try to kill me. It was hilarious.
It is a lot of fun. Driver 1 was good.
So I wanted more of that, and that's not what Driver 2 was. So
No. And Driver 3 is a footnote.
yep, we'll leave it at that. Yep.
Mhm.
So Pan, what's your final one?
So my final one, it's going to be Age of Empires.
Oh, were you converted by some man saying "Wololo"?
No,
Wololo,
that's a Murloc. That's a Murloc.
It's true. I did do a Murloc versus a what are they called?
A priest.
priest.
I thought they were monks.
They were
Monk is
priests.
in 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I've been playing 2 with my brother off and on lately. So,
Yeah. So, Age of Empires 1 came free on Windows back in the day.
did it?
Yes. Yeah. It came free on Windows. And I am just, I got the family computer. I'm just clicking around. You go to, program, start, programs, games, Age of Empires. What the hell is that? I'm going to find out. And I click it, and there's a cinematic, whatever. Click through it. Don't care. Screens, cutscene. Don't care. And then I just campaign mode, go. And I'm in this, honestly, that starting scenario is hard as hell, and I had to look up a guide on Game FAQs how to do it. But I'm in this game where, like, I gotta build a village, and I gotta kick the shit out of this other village, otherwise they're gonna kick the shit out of me. And I'm having a good old time playing it, and my mom comes up behind me, and she sees my caveman swinging this bone club, beating the shit out of another caveman and making him a bloody mess on the grass. She says, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm playing a historical game." Oh, okay.
Carry on then.
Yeah,
Nothing
Yeah.
to see here.
nothing to see here. Yeah, this is a historical war simulator game, Mom. Yeah. So, yeah, it's the Japanese versus the Greeks, Mom.
Heated rivals. They
Yeah.
A little bit of a what? But okay. I don't think they
Mama.
fought.
My mom bought it, okay?
Okay. I mean, also statute of limitations, like the previous one. It's ages ago now, right?
Ages of Empires.
Ages of yes.
At least a couple of ages ago. So yeah, and I get super into this game where, like, oh man, if I just research Bodkit, if I just research this and that and this and that, then I can kick the ever-loving shit out of them. And oh my god, is the Roman phalanx just unstoppable.
Yeah. I mean, you're not the first person that thought that. They thought that in Gaul and Spain. Not so much in Britain. Assyria, Persia, Greece, Macedonia. Continue.
Yeah. No, exactly. And man, that was a whole lot of fun. And I played the crap out of it. And loved it. And then eventually we got a new computer, and this version of Windows did not come with Age of Empires, and I was sad, and I had to go buy a copy of it. And I bought a copy of it, and I wasn't allowed to install games on the computer without permission.
Oh.
So I had to ask my mom to install it. She's like, "Well, what is Age of Vampires about?" It's not Age of Vampires, Mom. It's Age of Empires, and it's a historical game. Well, okay.
Gotcha.
Well, after I install it, I want to watch a couple minutes of it to see if this game's okay. Okay, Mom. She didn't remember she'd previously approved this game. And so then we get to it, and we get to the opening cinematic where it's like these two armies charging each other and like hacking each other to pieces, and she decided that game was too violent for me.
Rough. That is rough.
Rip. Rip. Yeah, so I waited a couple days, and then when she was out one day, I asked my dad to install it, and I showed him how it was a war game, and he thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool dad coming in.
Well, yeah. He didn't know that my mom had disapproved it, otherwise I chose to omit that piece of information.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's what he doesn't know.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
need to volunteer information to somebody. That's
Yeah, they should have coordinated better. Anyways, then Age of Empires 2 came out, and I thought my mind was blown that they just made it better in every way. And then with Age of Empires 3, they dropped the fucking ball so hard.
I started with Age of Mythologies.
Oh, Age of Mythology is fucking lit.
I know. That's where I started, and I am going back to Age of Empires 2 with my brother occasionally. I suck at 2. I suck so bad. I am
Two
such
is
I am such
good.
bad at turtling. It's just not a good thing. It's a bad habit that I have in
The
every RTS.
the Koreans and the Byzantines are best at turtling.
Well, here's the
They
problem.
have boats that turtle real good. The Koreans.
Yes, they do. They have turtle boats.
The problem, we play on random. It's just a rule that my brother and I have.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we always
I
do.
think you said that last week, actually.
Yeah, it's just the thing we do because like we do it in Smash Brothers. We just play random because like if you just like beat your head against each other with your best characters all the time, it gets boring and you get mad at each other. And then it's a rule we've had since like high school. So now we just do randoms and it's fine. But we don't play a lot of competitive games anymore. So yeah,
Y'all ever play Rise of Nations?
no.
Oh man, I think it took the ball from Age of Empires 2. It
Mm-hmm.
grabbed it, improved upon it. I would highly recommend that one. I think that one.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Rise of Nations was top tier. Was a top tier RTS. Had borders and stuff too. Like
Huh.
you couldn't build outside of your border. You exerted control over an area. So you had to fight
yeah,
over it.
that's what Northgard does. You have to claim areas. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that
And all
about
your stuff.
Northgard.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, alrighty. So I guess I'll finish up with my last one, and I changed it away from Turok, like I said, to Octopath Traveler. And Octopath Traveler is a wonderful Switch now PC game. I think it's on everything now.
On Xbox.
Yeah. Get a hold of it where you can. I don't care that it was Switch exclusive for a time, but I got it when it was Switch exclusive. I went through a very dark time in my video game career called divorce with my wife, and I lost all interest in video games, and it's called severe depression. I had this game on pre-order before that happened, and I was looking forward to it. I think I just like sort of crashed hard on video games. I was just like, it doesn't seem interesting. I got so many other things going on, but that was also my way to unwind and relax, and I kind of took that away from myself. But so I was just making myself more and more stressed out and da da da. So then, I am going to my family's house to run a one shot for a D&D campaign. And I get there the day before, hang out with my family, have the girls with me for the weekend, and this is when I was still living away too. I hadn't moved back yet. And then I boot up Octopath Traveler because I had just got it and I just wanted to play it before. I ended up having to do a lot of things, so I just left it on the title screen to begin with. And as I'm doing things, trying to get ready for this D&D thing, I'm just letting the music play. And eventually, there's just like this thing welling up inside of me. Just like this just like, I was like closed off to games, right? And then I was just like, slowly like a blooming flower, I was getting excitement for a game. Just based on the music. And it was just like, this is so awesome and so hopeful and that kind of stuff. And it's one of my favorite games now. And I just played the crap out of this game. We had a guest bedroom that I was staying in because she was still living with me during the divorce process. And I was in that guest bedroom, just like this with the Switch. Like, I love this game. Like all the time when I was home and not doing chores and stuff. Like it was just like Octopath Traveler awoke the love of video games all over again, and it saved it all for me. It was such a good game, and I played it, and then I actually ended up doing it for the podcast, for SideQuest, which was the earlier version of Bickering Bucks, and so our little video game book club thing, and I love it. I actually still have it in my. I have like a carrying case for my Switch that I don't use, but I keep all my games that I want on ready in it, all my physical games, because it's got those little tiny Switch cartridge sleeves.
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler has never left that sleeve because even though I switch them out constantly because I'm always in the back of my head, I should play that again. I don't, but I should. Like I've not beat the quote unquote final boss. There's actually, it's really cool. I don't know. Have you guys ever played Octopath? I think Vulgar, you mentioned it was on Xbox. It made me think you did.
No, it's probably not my cup of tea. Just knowing how I play games, but
Oh, it's a JRPG, turn-taking combat. They mix it up a little bit. There's some extra mechanics in there that make it more interesting to me because JRPGs are not my thing either, right? Because you know, anti-weeb here.
Stupid anime bullshit.
Yeah,
Yes, stupid anime bullshit. But they change it up, like moves that cost multiple turns and stuff like that, or you store up stuff, and so it makes it a little more strategic in that essence. Other than press button to attack, you know, like Pokemon, right? Pokemon's a
DVD menu.
Yeah. So the the crazy thing is that like, the stories in this game, there's 8 separate stories because each character has their own story, beginning, middle, and end. And it was actually kind of cool to me that they all had their own stories that kind of converged in some ways. And you got to travel this world and just learn. It felt very wholesome. There is a final boss that once you have beaten all 8 stories that they sort of all converge on this plot or whatever that finally ties everything together that I never did because it's optional. It's like optional endgame content that I just never did. But it's fantastic. And I had pre-ordered the game because the art style. And I ended up loving it for the music and then playing it because I needed something to get me back into it. So there you go. That's Octopath Traveler. I can't wait for Project Strategy game. Cause
I was just thinking about that. When the hell is that coming out?
it's probably a long ways out. I would say at best next year.
Yeah.
Because it's the same.
Yeah, I was literally just Googling that.
Yeah. Like what is it called? Like strategy? That's such a
Project Triangle Strategy.
Project Triangle Strategy. Yeah, it's such a placeholder name. Such a placeholder name.
I don't know. I think that name will sell. You put that on store shelves, boom.
That's kind of what they did with Octopath Traveler. They were like, that's a placeholder name. They said it in the Nintendo Direct. This is a placeholder name. We're not using this. They
did.
Yeah, they used it. So, okay. Well, I think that's our 15 game introductions. 16 because Pan had a twofer, but it's all cool. It's all good. Thank you for joining us. I keep wanting to call you Vengeful. It is not Vengeful.
No vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vulgar.
No, thanks for.
He is not vengeance. He is not the knight.
I'm sorry. We have Vengeful.
He is not Batman.
That is a friend of the show, and now we have Vulgar Latin, and it's just like the two are very similar, and it's tossing my brain. I am sorry.
No, it's all good, man. But thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I want to plug my.
Yeah. Now is the part of the night where we tell you to tell us your social medias or plugs or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have any social medias because I'm boring. But if you do want to listen to a podcast about Xbox achievement hunting, which is primarily my bread and butter, we have the Achievement Hunting 101 podcast and also the Achievement Hunting 101 Discord. Well, we do a lot of giveaways and stuff, primarily Xbox PC focused.
Sure.
But it's a good time every Thursday. You come out on wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Okay. Awesome. I might tune in. I would label myself as a completionist gamer, but I don't go hard into it. The thing is, I don't play Xbox. That's the only problem.
We have stuff for the other things as well. So
yeah.
But Xbox achievement hunting is kind of like where
it all started. Niche. Yeah, it's where it all started.
It's a very niche sub community.
Sure.
It's like speedrunners, but worse.
Because considering I don't think you've known, but there's been a lot of drama with Monster Hunter speedrunners, so I kind of have to doubt that.
A lot lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, we find stuff. It's fine.
That being said, I just don't even like it when they say it in AGDQ. It annoys the hell out of me. They're like, oh, when you're doing your casual playthrough. I'm like, no, it's just not fast. Not fast doesn't mean casual.
Yeah. No, this is like we hunt achievements. Yeah, I'm the what is it now? First in Nebraska in terms of gamer score and
Nice.
Encroaching on the top 150 in the United States and top 400 in the world.
I do not have that. I was very into achievement hunting when I had my 360.
I will tell you this has been a goal he has been working towards for many years.
Almost to 1 million.
Being there, like when I was doing it, I understand it. There's a reason why I drove myself crazy on Stuntman. There's a reason.
Yeah, I didn't play a lot of those games because I was an enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's I did not play Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Burning Earth because of my enjoyment of the franchise.
Unfortunately, we were all duped into watching the live action movie. You didn't?
I wasn't.
You didn't?
No. Watch that.
Yeah, don't. I don't even like I don't even like Shyamalan. Like I don't like his normal movies, and then he did that one, and it's just like, ooh boy, you really.
He's got a new bullshit movie coming out.
Oh yeah, he does, and it's
what a twist.
It's got another twist, probably.
About people who go old on an island. That makes you old.
Yeah, that's right.
It's called Old.
I forgot what it was because, it's come up on YouTube ads actually.
Yeah. Steve and I went to go see Black Widow in theaters last week, and yeah, there was a trailer for it.
You know what? Post-pandemic, I was hoping to go back to see things in theaters. We lost our movie theater. I haven't seen anything because there's no ability to.
It died?
Yeah, it died. Now, granted, I will say, having a Danbury die, not really a bad thing in my book because Danbury Cinemas can go fuck themselves because they are terrible as a chain. But I am remiss how Danbury killed 3 theaters in my town. 3 separate theaters died to Danbury because Danbury did aggressive things to weed them out.
Yeah.
And then Danbury dies, and now I have no theaters. And
yep. Similar situation for us here in Nebraska, except it's a different company. And also, thank God they didn't die.
No.
Yeah.
Marcus Theaters is still going. I don't know if they're going strong. Mr. Marcus, he does this commercial before every movie.
He seems good.
Oh, he is gaunt like a skeleton in his new post-pandemic commercial.
Oh.
Yeah. But that is way off topic.
Yeah.
Now, the next time I see a movie, I will have to drive an hour to Columbus. It will have to be a thing.
Oh, man.
So, I have to go
Home streaming!
A major... Oh, that's how I watched Godzilla. I got HBO Max so I could watch Godzilla and Mortal Kombat, and I've not touched the service since.
Hey, you got Primal and Harley Quinn on there.
No, that's true.
Space
I did
Jam.
watch Harley Quinn, and I do need to watch Space Jam. I do need to watch.
Start watching Young Justice. Young Justice, man.
Okay. I have got caught up. I had a lot of YouTube backlog that I want to get through. And then I started watching a bunch of things on Netflix, like real true crime stuff. But
that's good stuff.
Forensic Files is the one on Netflix I've been watching. It's like early 2000s, like with that really great narrator.
He's dead now, yes. But I'm a middle-aged white woman. Forensic Files is my jam.
Forensic
And I'm
Files
not-
is my jam.
I
I love Forensic Files.
I am a middle-aged Native American Caucasian, and I love that stuff too. So, male. I forgot to say male. Anyways,
Yeah, I can watch that all day. Unsolved Mysteries.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have so many things on the Netflix queue right now, but when I'm done with those, I have started watching the '90s Batman original series, and I plan on going through all the Batman stuff on HBO Max. I'm not getting rid of HBO Max. I'm just putting it on the shelf because I have a bunch of other things I'm watching.
Well, Steve and I just got done rewatching Young Justice, and it's one of the better superhero cartoons.
Mhm.
It's not the best. It's not Invincible.
I see. That's the thing is I
But-
can't watch Invincible. I've been talking
Right.
I've been talking to my friend Brian to sort of go up and visit and watch it with him. I don't know if I can binge it in a weekend with him, but I do want to watch some of it at least.
Well, anyways, Young Justice, I would say, is the second best animated superhero show.
Yeah, I never watched Primal. I know Ace said he had watched it recently. Primal's amazing.
Okay.
I don't watch TV much.
Yeah, he's just achievement hunting.
Yeah, that's
That's all he has time for.
you got to keep up with the numbers.
I mean,
Gotta bump those numbers up.
I was there. I talked about this. Pan knows about this, but I was in a game, just a game. I had a short stint where I was 8th in the world on Transformers War for Cybertron.
Oh yeah.
I was 8th, and I couldn't keep it up, dude. It was so much stress and so much time gaming just to stay 8th. Like, I got
Hey,
mad. I
don't
got
worry.
upset.
Most guys.
Like, to try to keep up with achievement hunting at that level, I cannot do that. So kudos to you, man.
Thanks.
All right.
40 in Risk.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Definitely check out Vulgar's podcast.
Achievement Hunting 101.
Yeah. And
Wherever podcasts are found.
follow me on Twitter at HuntersHubPod. And also that's the same for Twitch. And thank you guys for listening. And next week we'll be talking about video game mods that we've been pseudo talking around all week, and we'll probably have another guest on. We haven't figured that out yet. We are in the process of getting a new full-time co-host, but until then, we will keep rotating in, because a 3-person conversation is much better than a 2. It's not that they are undoable, but having a back and forth is fine, but you have to be on point the whole time.
Fortuan and I spend 10 minutes talking about our likes and dislikes, and then we're done.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we have a lot to talk about, Pan, but it is very much like one person talks and then one other person talks. We need that third party to sort of interject. So thank you so much for being that third party.
Glad I could be here.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty. See you, everybody.
Bye.